Hey folks, welcome back to another video. We're back for CSGB, round 6 this time in Season 8 at the Miami Street Circuit. Trialling a one-shot qualifying format in which we managed P10 after some tricky conditions, a few weather changes, but looking to capitalise in the race with the hard to medium strategy, pitting around the middle of the race. And dry weather all the way through, so just looking to level that pace all the way through, try and stay consistent. So starting P10 on the hard tyres, lights coming on, and they go out pretty quickly as we get underway. Quite a bit of wheel spin off the start, same as Podium ahead of us. Our teammate comes up alongside on the outside, quite bunched up into the first corner. There's a car going deep, made a collision with us. There's debris all over the circuit. We get a better run around the outside on our teammate and move into P8. So we gained out of that a couple of places after quite a bit of chaos at turn 1. As we head towards the S's for the first time, getting a decent run. We've got a few cars bunched up ahead. There seems to be some contact with Bowers in the Haas getting turned around. Milsom left on the outside, so we get through on him. Gained 3 places out of that. We're up to 5th now. Our teammate there in 7th. So a very, very good start for the Aston Martin pair. As we come up to the back of Boyworm on lap 2, it was It's been a very good start, this one, as Boyworm goes a little bit wide through the S's. And we capitalise on that and get through just before the long sort of straight through the middle sector of this lap. And owing to our setup, we're able to carry enough straight line speed to wall him off a little bit. However, he does begin to come alongside. We've got the inside line here. I think he outbroke himself because we went a bit deep and he was still very wide of us. So we do get P4 in the end there, and we can try and push on and close up to Pro Mayhem Susie. And I believe it's Perennial Snow up in the lead as well. So yeah, they really made a break for it, the top 2. But looking to try and defend from Milsom now. Using quite a lot of our ERS already, which is owed to some of our a poor exit out of some of these corners. But we do hold on to P4 for the time being, which from P10 can't complain. Made a little bit of a mistake there, and we did break our wing ever so slightly, and we ended up carrying that for the majority of the race as Milsom decides to go for a move around the outside, puts it alongside us, and we're braking now, hit the apex quite nicely, and he can't really do anything from the outside line, that's for sure. So we carry the speed round out of the first complex, heading towards the S's once again. Milsom having to drop away a bit with the dirty air. Even in these new cars, the dirty air is still an issue here. So he has to back off and wait. And we're hoping to get a good exit out of this corner. It's half decent, but we are still feeling that pressure from Milsom behind. And for that reason, we don't really opt to use the ERS at this point. If he gets past, so be it. And we can just sort of carry the race through and try and use his pace, given he's on a better set of tyres at the moment as well. I'm on the not the preferred tyre at this stage because it's lacking a bit of pace. But if we can use them to pull us along and reduce our overall race time, that's only going to benefit us later. So Milsom did eventually get through in the Alfa Romeo. Carrying the speed through now onto this long back straight. And as we went forward, we had a number of consistent laps being set, all in the sort of mid 133s, just trying to be consistent at this point, trying to bed in and get these laps ticked down, as Milsom was on the inside there out of turn 1, got a little bit too much power, I would have thought, and found himself in the barrier, but he does continue, does live another day. As we settle down, definitely now into 3rd place, we're matching Eat My Dust quite a lot, and he was on the hards as well, so that was encouraging. We've got some of the medium runners who their tyres will probably start to have gone off by now. As you can see, the top 2 are miles away now, even with that 3-second penalty for Snow. We don't stand a chance getting near him at this stage. And it's grown even more now as we start to approach the pit window, at least for the medium tyres. So a fairly quiet first half of the race, really. Just trying to set those consistent lap times. And, establish ourselves in the race and see if we can put ourselves in a position to legitimately take hold of this P3. Some of the drivers behind begin to pit, and even the ones in front of us, Susie there caving first, trying to do the undercut on Snow. So we found ourselves in an opportunity to go and take the P2 for the time being at least, because in a few laps time we'd be coming in for medium tyres to give us better pace at the end of the race. Nice entry into the first corner as we found ourselves ahead of Susie, and it was the same was said in a couple of laps later with Snow as he came in to serve his pit stop from the hards onto, from the mediums onto the hards, I should say. So given he has to go through the warm-up cycle, we had an opportunity to break away a little bit. He wasn't able to capitalise on any DRS, at least initially, as we came in on lap 16 for our mandatory stop. Getting it stopped quite nicely there. And heading in to try and make the most of this pit stop and, stay with our rivals and give us the best chance of a P3. Nice stop overall from the team there. And just rolling back out onto the track, as I say. Now we're on the mediums. We're in a better spot versus those on hards to try and close up, or at least establish ourselves in the race. But of course we have to go for our warm-up cycle, and because of that, not easy. Even those on the hards started catching us, at least a couple of seconds now. So we had to try and make sure he didn't get too close. Having said that, I think he made a mistake later on, as did Boyworm at this point, which brought out a safety car, which was great timing for my teammate particularly, given that he hadn't pit yet. He was extending to go to softs, but this was perfect timing for him. Everybody else, apart from Eat My Dust, opted to switch to the softs. Eat My Dust opted to go for a fresh set of mediums. So everyone was pitting, but my teammate only had to do the one stop in the race, which was excellent for him and for the team, of course. So we switch onto the softs to take them to the end of the race, and we will re-emerge in P4 at this stage, just behind Eat My Dust, I believe, in the Alpine. And we'll be looking to try and get the jump on him as soon as we can to see if we can get near Susie and Snow, even though they were ridiculously quick in the first part of the race. As we get back underway, Snow leaves it very late to go. But judges it really well, because there's not much opportunity for anybody to put any pressure on him. As we get a nice run through the first corner, we're almost held up by Eat My Dust at this point, so we want to try and get that move done as soon as possible. And a half-decent run, a little bit wide, so we didn't get quite the run we would have wanted. Eat My Dust definitely did better there. But we ended up using a lot of ERS because we really didn't want to wait around here. We got Milsom just behind, and he has very good pace. So we don't want to leave ourselves too vulnerable at this early stage. So we went for a big move down into the hairpin at the end of the sort of straight, and carry the speed through, and we end up taking that position owing to the better grip we're carrying here. Lap 23 got a little bit exuberant. We didn't do the upshift, the short upshift, as early as we should have done, and it left us vulnerable. We had to spend even more ERS just to ward off Milsom for a bit longer, which is not good news at this stage, frankly. Not the exit I wanted out of there, but genuine driver error, frankly. Nothing more. But we push on now, heading in towards the sort of final few laps of the race. Now Milsom's still putting pressure on us behind. But doing just enough owing to the straight line speed we've got in this setup. It's working wonders, really. He's getting better exits, that's for sure. But we've got enough straight line speed to ward off the threat. We're on lap 26 now, heading onto the back straight. And Finn's got a good opportunity here to try and move into the slipstream, use the DRS to try and pull a move on us. It's a very, very long straight here. Closing now to less than 2 tenths now. He opts for the inside line. I should have defended to the inside line in hindsight, as he runs us out fairly and completely there. He was ahead of me. So he takes P3 at this stage. So we're going to look to stay in his wheel tracks, keep getting that DRS, and give us an opportunity to fight for that position towards the end. Nothing really doing on lap 27 or 28. But we did stay with him as we head on to the final lap now, going down into turn 1. We get DRS for the last time on this pit straight. Hit that apex quite nicely. Feeling a bit more confident now with the car, with the tyres. As we run the car out as wide as we dare. Keep the throttle on. Heading through the S's now. And yeah, definitely struggling with the dirty air through corners like this, particularly sort of medium to high speed. Quick change of directions, a bit like Maggots and Beckett's really in that way. And heading on out onto the sort of straight now. We've not got a lot of ERS left, but we're going to burn it anyway because we really need to get this move done. We're using that straight line speed advantage and the DRS to give us the opportunity to run alongside. We opt for the inside line, and we get the move done just about. We've allowed ourselves to get in front. He's got the outside line for this next corner. He was looking at it, but we did stay in front for the time being, and that's crucial at the moment, getting track position for now. But we do know we've got to try and defend on that final straight, which is no easy feat, given we've only got 20% of our ES left. Get a little bit crossed up on the exit, same as before, but not quite as bad as we get the power down, using as much ERS as we dare. Almost running out completely. We've got no DRS to defend, but he does start looking down the inside. We do try and push him to the inside. We don't leave him as much room. There is still racing room there. We opt for the outside line. Doesn't get alongside us enough, and we're pushing out at the final corner, sweeping through. There's a little bit of contact on the exit, but we do enough to take it.
Oh my god. Oh my goodness. P3. Get in.
Nice. Well done. Oh, I can see how close you were to that alpha.
Tasty little battle that was. Whoa. Flipping out. Oh my goodness. GG Finn. GG mate. There's a little bit of contact out in the last corner as well. It's like, ah, for fuck's sake. Oh, that was crazy. That was crazy. Oh my goodness. Fucking P3. No, GG, that was good. A lot of respect there for sure. Enjoyed that. Well done. Great battle. The race pace was there actually. I've got to say, the setup I've got works really well for the race. Yeah, we've scored really good points, I think. And, you know, from both a driver's and constructor's standpoint, it's been a good race, actually, that one. Very, very good race.